Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Dr. Primraz ZJBima. I post content about research, running and mindfulness. In today's episode, I'm going to be taking you through 25 of my running essentials. These are mostly important for marathons, which is distances of 42.2 kilometers and beyond. That is ultra marathons. As you can see, I'm wearing the Two Oceans Ultra Marathon 56-kilometer race t-shirt as I prepare myself for the race that will be held on the 13th of April in 2024. Wish me luck. I hope everything goes well. I've never run that far. The most I've done is 46 kilometers, which is about 3 weeks ago. I'm a bit confident but also anxious. The goal is to finish within the cutoff time of 7 hours. God willing, if that doesn't happen, well, that's a bummer. This is actually a bucket list item. So if I don't make it, then we move on to the next. I'm not going to repeat this marathon ever in my life, or at least I think so now. Before I digress, let us get right straight into it. So the number one essential for any runner is, of course, a good pair of shoes. Let me emphasize this. It is important. In my first 2 years of running, I relied a lot on shoes that I could afford, which were shoes from 1,000 rands and below, and most of them were not suitable for running very long distances. So for the first time that I tried running a marathon in 2021, October, I struggled, and to a large extent, it was due to overuse injuries and running in the wrong shoe. So ahead of this training for the ultra marathon, I went to the asics shop because asics has been my shoe of choice. I find their shoes to be very comfortable for me. So I went to the asics shop at Canal Walk in Cape Town, and I managed to get out with a pair of asics Gel-Nimbus shoes. This is the asics Gel-Nimbus 25. I have had it since December. During my training, I have rotated the shoe with other shoes. I think I've got a pair of asics Nova Plus 3 and asics Nova Plus 2s that I've been interchanging with this. And I find it, very good to buy a shoe that's a size bigger, usually, because it's really helpful. I have flat feet, and also when I get tired, I tend to hit a lot against the toe box. So to prevent blistering as well as, not getting my toes into like a black sore state, I try to get shoes that are a bit bigger. Of course, that is costly. This shoe is already heavy. I think it's a bit above 210 grams. I'm a very slim girl, so I have to work hard to run with this shoe, but it pays off because it is very comfortable. So if you need more information on this, I'm not a shoe reviewer. Check out the reviews that are available online. But I love my shoe, and it's the best long distance running shoe that I've owned thus far. There is an asics Gel-Nimbus 26 that is out. I don't afford new releases, so I might buy that one maybe next year. So the second major essential is a watch. What do I use? I have a Garmin Forerunner 35. This is a watch that I have relied on and have used since March 2021. It has served me well, and it has gone as far as 46 kilometers. So I'm hoping that it will go through the whole journey that I need to run on, the 13th. Other people use sophisticated watches which have route map access on them and whatnot, but the route is clearly marked. I don't need to buy a new watch just because I'm running 56 kilometers when this watch will work for me. Before I started using a GPS sports watch, I did use my phone, but I found it very difficult because I had to find ways of like putting my phone around me, and that also put me at risk of being robbed. And sometimes phones also freeze because they are on multiple functions at the same time. So try get yourself an entry-level watch like the Forerunner 35. If you're trying to run maybe distances up to 42 or 50 kilometers, it will work out for you. So my number 3, sure. So I'm not sure how this is going to show in the video. I will put up a picture for you. This is the Salomon Skin Aid Hydration Pack. I let this out so that you can see what the source of hydration looks like. So basically on race day, I usually fill up one of these with water, the other one with Energade, or sometimes just Energade both ways or water both ways, depending on how I'm feeling. And this is about 450 to 500 mils. I usually don't fill it up that much, maybe like up to 450, that's sufficient. And then at the back here, we've got ample space where you could put your jacket or other stuff like your house keys and whatnot, depending on how you're traveling. And at the front here, there is a side pocket that has a zipper. And I usually put my running gels in here. If you don't know what gels are, you'll soon find out through this video, so stay tuned. I find this to be very comfortable. However, when I bought it, I thought it was like one size fits all, only to realize that they actually do have small sizes. So in hindsight, I would have gotten a smaller size, but I'm a big girl getting bigger, so the medium is all right for me. And I think this one is specifically designed for women. So when you are getting a hydration pack, do your research, talk to people at the shop, and they'll give you further insights on what is best for you. This is ideal for any long run. I've used it for 30-kilometer runs. I've used it for half marathons. I've used it for marathons. And of course, I used it for my 46-kilometer. And we're definitely going into the oceans with this. These are my darling tights. I have had these since like 2020. And when I bought them, I was like a super small size. And I'm gonna need a small size moving forward. Love them because they've got this side pocket detail in case you want to put something like a small packet of like tissue. Sometimes I do that because I sniffle a lot depending on the conditions out there. So just put that small plastic packet with like the tissues inside, and you can always easily grab it from your side. Um, you know what? Me using this since 2020 should just tell you that these are amazing. I love 3/4 tights, so these do a great job. I'm not all for like very short or very long. So I love these for my running, and they've done well for me over the past few years. Okay, so let's move on to what I'll be running in. Ideally, people do run with the race top. I'm not too sure how I feel about running in this. I did wash it after getting it from the race expo. I'm still thinking about whether I'm going to wear it or not. Otherwise, I do have a favorite, a running top. Okay, look at her. I think also SS super small because I think I'm still small. But anyway, I also got this, I think, this is from 2021. Love it, love it, love it because it's very breathable. And every time I run in it, I don't really retain sweat, so it doesn't soak in. And even though I wear like a hydration pack behind me, it doesn't soak in. So I just love the way that I breathe in this. Amazing, amazing. I have so many other tops from Mr. Price Sport. I've never had a bad experience with them, so I really endorse going there. You can get them from as little as 100 rands or through up to like maybe 250 rands. So my next item is a cap. Love, 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 love this little cap. I used to run in a black cap, also from Mr. Price Sport. But what I love about this is, as you can see, it's got this elastic detail at the back. So it easily adjusts to the shape of your head and whatever you have at whatever particular time. I probably bought this in 2021. Also, I do buy other caps, but this is my favorite. So I'm always doing this, whether I'm training or whether I'm like running a race. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, so get yourself a race cap. It's good. Protection from the sun. Also makes you look a bit pretty when you're sweaty. I do think it depends on the hairstyles you have, but definitely you should have something just covering your forehead and like just giving you that shade over your head. So when it comes to socks, I don't want to lie. I'm not endorsing any particular brands, but I endorse using a Versus socks. I discovered these very late into my long distance running, and once I did, I never turned back. So these socks, it will be my fourth time wearing them. What I've discovered with socks is that they tend to lose, their cushion depending on how much you run in them. So I have been buying socks every now and again, replacing them before they even look old. And probably two oceans will be the last run I do in these particular socks Maybe I'll start using them indoors or when I'm doing like workouts in the gym or whatever the case may be. But this is going to be out. So in as much as I endorse them, I feel like they do have a short life when you are using them for very long distances. They hit against the shoe a lot in many ways, not just only this part. You might be able to see also just here, this is due to all that friction against the shoe. And I actually bought these in a size bigger than normal as well. I find that really helpful for my heel as well as for the toe box. And right here, they just fit all the same as like whatever would be my size. Verso Socks also gives you like very beautiful colored socks. I do have pink ones, I've had green ones, I've got yellow ones, and I think these match with my shoe, which is why I really, decided to buy them. So my eyes aren't that good. I have myopia, which is short-sightedness, as well as astigmatism. Beyond like a very short distance, I'm already seeing things looking blurry. And it was through running that I actually discovered that my sight was depreciating. So when I was thinking about running longer distances, I realized that my daily specs weren't doing the thing. So I went to Specsavers when I was getting my new pair last December, spoke to them about what I needed, and I got a very good pair of Under Armour spectacles. That is the frame itself. They're very good in terms of their grip. And I've done 46 kilometers in them. I've done 42 kilometers in them. I've done 30 kilometers in them. So I know that they really work well. I am not also promoting Under Armour, but this has served me really well. So, whenever you go to your specs providers, ask them if they've got something that is sports based, something that has got good grip. I also love how they just cover my whole face, and I use them daily as well. And they've also got like a blue light protector and also some sun protection to some extent, not very good, but I always wear a cap, which is fine. So I love that I've got good sight, good vision, makes my races nice. Also, just seeing the beauty of Cape Town. Two Oceans is going to be the most scenic route that I've ever run. So I need to go in there with the best vision possible. So get yourself a pair of good glasses. If you are a person that struggles with eyesight, don't just go in there and be struggling also with your sight as you struggle with the race. I have struggled as a runner to get the best bra, mainly because of budget, but also because whatever I've tried has had its limitations. So I used to struggle a lot because the bras I would choose, due to the friction with the hydration pack, I would always come back home with bruises over my shoulders. And then when I bought a new bra, a different type, realized that after the race, I had bruised myself, like on the under boobs. So I had scratches because of the friction there. And then when I was doing my 46-kilometer run, I just remember that there's a bra that I bought because it was part of like a branded kit by a lady called By Togo. I think she's based in Cape Town. And mine, obviously, I'm a Zim girl. It had Zim colors. I'm a Zim girl. It has Zim colors, as you can see. Yeah, and I don't really like what the bra looks like itself, but let me tell you something. I think this particular part helped. So it protected my under boobs in my previous run. And I will tell you the next secret why I didn't, bruise my shoulders. This, I think, was partly to do with the type of bra itself, but also the jacket that I wore during that particular day. So for a bra, I don't have a specific brand to recommend, but maybe look up this lady. I think what one needs is literally just elastic that is soft and quite thick and lengthy. Because if your bra has like a tiny elastic slot here, maybe like this thin, it's more likely to like scratch you and cause like, bruising and whatnot. But I think with most bras, whenever you have a hydration pack, it's a struggle. Just add a little more Vaseline each time also on these sensitive parts. But the thing is, you only discover the sensitive parts that they are not well Vaselined when you actually get the bruising, which is very painful. So this is going to be me maybe wearing my flag colors. It's going to be give me a good bit of some good luck to finish. I think Zimbabweans excel at many things, and I want to excel at Two Oceans as well. All right, so still on underwear. I feel like this is too much information, but for the sake of this video, this is educational. Let us just share it. So I've got this pair, very colorful, but that's not the reason why I love them. I actually had never run in these until the day I had to run my 46 kilometers. And I was like, let me try out like wearing like a swimwear piece. So this is basically part of like a bikini, you know. And what I like about this is that it's breathable because it's created for sports. So it's amazing. I have had this experience before because I used to use something sports based, but it got old. I couldn't find a new one. I do run in my daily panties, but there's limitations because, for example, they don't really do well when it comes to sweating over the long distances. So I definitely resorted to getting something that is swimwear based. However, despite having full coverage at the back, I think I didn't know about this. I did experience chafing in between my butt cheeks. So I'm gonna have to put quite a lot of Vaseline in between so that I don't get any bruising. So really, maybe sports-based panties work, but maybe they don't. I'll figure it out when it comes to 56 kilometers on the day of the race. So the next piece of dressing, item of clothing rather, is my jacket. Love it, love it, love it, love it. The color is amazing. And I've had this since probably 2022, 2023. I used to have very nice jackets, but someone stole them from the laundry line. So ever since 2021, nah, I do not hang any sports jackets or my favorite tights on the line. They are washed in the house and they dry in the house because sports gear is very expensive. Now you must deal with people just stealing, you know, you work and then people just come and steal your sweat. I hate it. So I love this because I'm a hypothermic girl. Although you can see that like it's not like a warm jacket, it does help to some extent when I'm feeling a bit cold. Also, I love this because in as much as I run with it in hot weather, it doesn't get soggy, you know. It's still quite lightweight. I don't want to say that it's very breathable, but I haven't found a problem with this. I ran the 46-kilometer run with it, so I trust it for the 56 kilometers. In the event that it does get cold, I'll be in trouble because I don't think this will help me in the morning. So in terms of the top, I might end up wearing a thermal vest. If I do, you will see on the day. Otherwise, we are just sticking according to the plan as is. Kinesiology tape, kinesiology, KT tape, basically, that's what we call it. I find these to be very helpful. Because sometimes you go into a race and you've got parts that are tight, parts that you think you might just need to have something over. And it's for me, it's usually my knees, and a bit of like the left side of my lower leg. Sometimes also just like around my glutes, particularly for these very long distances. So I find KT tape to be really helpful. There are races or runs that I do without this because also I think it's more like something that has a placebo effect than actually like something that is medically proven to be excellent in terms of, you know, helping you to relieve pain. I do feel relief though. So just putting it out there that I will be having KT tape if I have parts that I feel like are quite tight. I think I almost always have it over my right knee, but I realize that me doing that actually aggravates the pain that I feel after the race. So if I don't feel any pain in the morning, I'm not going to actually use it. But having KT tape is always essential. And there's different videos online that are available to show you how to use KT tape on different parts. Other people do pay to be KT taped, but I've never paid for such a service. So one thing to note also is that you can get KT tape in pre-cut format or in uncut format. What I love about the uncut is that you can sort of like stretch it and put it all over the spaces that you think you need to have it, like, you know, around, without the limitations of having something that has a predetermined you know, size like this. So it depends, but the pre-cuts, I love them particularly because my knees are very short, like the circumference or whatever you call it around them. So a pre-cut works best, but for this, more like, for example, when you put it around like your glute area, because we have people with different body sizes, so this also helps. I just always have both because just in case. So up next is something that I discovered a very long time ago. I was going for a, you know, sports day at school. My dad bought me Energade. I was probably like in 7th grade. That's around 2004. And I've loved Energade since then. I've tried Powerade. I've tried everything else. But for me, for electrolytes and a good sports drink, it's always Energade. And it's the blue one because I just feel like it's the one that feels like it's the sporty one. The other ones taste otherwise, you know. Um, but no shade. I just love Energade and the blue one to go with. I think it's blueberry flavored. Love it, love it, love it. And I don't do anything that says zero. We just go with whatever is the original because that's what has worked for me. And I don't want to change my taste. I don't want to change the contents. So Energade on the go. Most races have Powerade at the stations. I don't take that at all. I usually just take the water and sometimes Coca-Cola. So one essential, hey, you don't have this thing, you're gonna suffer. Well, if you're me. So petroleum jelly of any kind. I call all petroleum jellies Vaseline. For the sake of this video, this is actually a Clicks petroleum jelly, but Vaseline works wonders as well. So you need this for your lips at the beginning, throughout, the wind hitting against my lips, the oils become crusty and khaki. I've had to ask for Vaseline on the road from like spectators, and then it helps. Vaseline also, like I said earlier, it helps to just have proper layers over your shoulders, on my under boobs because of the bra friction, and in other very tricky areas that you might not think you might need Vaseline. Like I said, my butt cheeks had a bit of some sting because of the hitting against each other during the previous run, the 46 kilometers. So I'm definitely gonna need this, obviously, at the beginning. I can't, re-grease myself. Is it even a thing? Re-greasing? Yeah, I can't. I cannot re-lubricate them during the race. If you're like me, I have a very naughty stomach. It loves experiencing anxiety, diarrhea. So always have an anti-diarrhea tablet. The popular name people give for these things is Imodium. This is this is Pyramid. Got it from Clicks. You just need to take one before your race. So what I usually do is I try to go to the loo before consuming this, and even after consuming it, which is like 30 minutes before I leave the house. And it has helped me. There are races when I've forgotten to take Imodium, and I've never, at least fortunately, I've never had diarrhea accidents during a race. But my tummy has been tight in some instances. So I just take this for precaution. I've never really had runny tummy issues on the distance. I have had instances where my tummy felt crampy, where my tummy had pins in it and whatnot, and I don't think Imodium is for that. So yeah, this obviously has a limited function. So for the next item, what I'm going to show you is very expensive, and I don't think people should be paying that much for an energy boost during a run. And for something that you have to consume perhaps every other hour during a race, whew, I felt the pinch in my pocket. I have here a box of maurten gels. This is usually a set of 12. And I love these sachets because they are easy to open. I can't open this now because then I might have to take it. They're very easy to open. And although I don't like the texture of the gel, it goes down well in my tummy. As I mentioned earlier, I told you that sometimes I've had like issues with my tummy. And I realized that sometimes it had to do with the gels that I'd been taking. So I used to take USN gels, chocolate flavored, vanilla flavored, orange flavored, and I think they were just making me sick. This doesn't come in a particular flavor. It does have like a taste to it, but it's not a taste that is like bad in my mouth. And also they sit well in the tummy. So I think it's actually one of the reasons why I haven't really had stomach issues. I'm pretty sure you can go without Imodium and just take maurten, but for precaution, like I say, just take your Imodiums. These come with a lot of caffeine content in them, and they help you to refuel, but they don't necessarily rehydrate you. So you still need to take your water. They also have, to some extent, additional sodium, which you need because you are losing through sweat during these runs. It does have a bit of some water and glucose in it, some calcium, but this is definitely not a substitute for food. They are helpful because I have found that my marathon experiences improved ever since I started taking maurten last year, September 2023. So this is definitely something I would endorse. However, to try it out, you need to have more money. And honestly, I don't know if I'm going to be buying maurten hereafter, which is why I want to stop running very long distances. I think we stop at 56 for these two oceans, unless, of course, if I get a sponsor. So how many gels does one need? Out of these 12, I actually bought more than 12 because remember, I've been training and doing long runs and doing some races. But for this particular race, I think I'm going to have 6, or I think 7 is a lot. So perhaps maybe 6 would be helpful so that I've got 1 at the beginning before I start running. And then I'll have 1 at 10Ks, 20Ks, 30Ks, 40Ks, 50Ks. So that's what? Start 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Yeah, that's a balance. So hopefully it works out for me. You better work because you cost a lot. Yo, hi, guys, maurten. So unfortunately, running very long distances comes with a lot of pain. And I personally like managing my pain externally without taking a lot of like painkillers and whatnot, because I'm aware that, you know, overusing pain medication can lead to adverse effects, for example, a damage to your kidney and whatnot. So for me, because I'm already sick for 1 week of the month, y'all, like when I've got my period. So I try to avoid going to painkillers and I try to, you know, touch on the areas where I experience the most pain. This here is a patch that's suitable particularly for joint areas. So for example, you can put it over your knees. It has helped me. I think I've used this since 2020. I first discovered it after experiencing like so much pain on a day where I decided to do a 5 kilometer speed run and also like go hiking up Table Mountain. And I just discovered this and it worked wonders for me. So I usually use this particular one for my knee. Another gem I discovered courtesy of Deep Heat is this. It's a belt. You can put it around your back. I use it also during times when I've got very bad period pains on my back area. It has also helped me when I had a lot of pain around like my glutes, so I could like pull it around because it's not adhesive, unlike the first one, you know, where you stick it around your knee, for example. This particular one, you can actually shift it, well, mostly before use, but like I said, it doesn't stick, so you can actually like move it around. The belt is comfortable for like tying a knot when you've put it around the space where you want to be comfortable. And these last for even up to like 12 hours and beyond. There's a day when I actually forgot and this thing was still emitting heat and comfort to my pain area. So all the way with Deep Heat. So in addition to the warming belt and the pain patch, they also have roll-ons. These are helpful. I use this particularly, for example, if I want to reach to my back, any part, whether it's like my lower back, my upper back, whatever the case may be. You know, don't put it on, under your armpits, of course. It's not a roll-on for that. These are really helpful. I think I might carry this on the road. But my main worry is that because I'll be sweating, I'll be salty on my body. I'm not sure if it's going to work well with this. So the alternative would be the Deep Heat once again. They are spray. I've seen this being used a lot on the road and by paramedics and whatnot. So perhaps I'll chuck this in behind me, but this is lighter. So I'm really contemplating 150 mils or 50 mils. Probably this, but we're still thinking about it. I'm definitely going to have Deep Heat on me. Deep freeze products. I have had these for the longest time because I use it sparingly, obviously. Sometimes I actually mix. So maybe I've sort of like sprayed Deep Heat on myself, then I put this gel over myself. This is also comfortable because you can move around with it. So similar use to the Deep Heat one, but I would rather move around the Deep Heat than something cold. Usually what I do during races is that if I'm feeling pains that I feel like I need to ice a bit, I pour cold water on them or I ask for ice along the road. That is always available. So there's no need to actually carry around the cold stuff, or at least in my case. So another source of comfort when you're in pain, I recently discovered these Epsom salts, courtesy of Clicks. I have always used Epsom salts, different brands, but I found these very helpful because I think they're customized for muscle recovery. when I'm in the bath and sitting in them, I actually feel the relief effect even just afterwards. So love them. Also because they're accessible. I think we have more click stores than like other vendors of, relief salts out there. So this is really nice. Although almost all the time when I go to the shop, it's like the last packet or people have like bought all of them and I have to go back another time. A brand which I've been using for almost 3 years now, I discovered it, I think, at a race expo, is this product from Aromatic Apothecary. Their bath salts have helped me a lot. I can buy this online, or sometimes I try to look for them at race expos and then buy their stuff. Also, their roll-on is amazing. At this stage, I've got the 3 roll-ons, guys. Deep freeze, deep heat, and Aromatic Apothecary. I also love it, love it, love it, love it. So I think I'm obsessed with pain roll-ons because it's usually my back that requires attention, or like my lower legs. So areas that I can reach easily also without like doing much. I love their salts. They are super amazing. Oh, goodness. Before I digress, got the Safeway massage gun. I've always wanted a massage gun, but massage guns are super expensive. So when Clicks lowered the price of this one from like 700 to 3 something, I was like, I'm going for it. Less than 400 for a massage gun. Amazing, amazing, amazing. So a massage gun is basically what, the name says. You use it to massage different parts of your body. For me, the back area is a no-go area when it comes to these things. Don't use them around your neck also. Stick to your thighs, your calves, those areas that are like soft tissued, where you've got like some flesh, man, that you can feel, not places where you're directly exposed to your bone. In case you damage your spine, in the name of a massage. Here also works nicely because you also get like a bit of some flesh. So love it, love it, love it. I bought it like 2 weeks ago, so I don't know why I'm saying I love it, love it, love it, because I haven't really used it. But I think this is going to help me with my recovery. Yes, love it, love it, love it, love it. Again, because it came as a special. So there's something that I always forget. Yeah, sunscreen. But also I've got issues with sunscreen. So I like preparing my face the way I always do on a daily basis because I want to feel the same. And on a daily basis, I usually do not add sunscreen to my face. And when I have used it, I realize that when there's like sweat from like up here and goes into my eyes, it has like an itchy effect. So for that reason, unfortunately, my face is going to be exposed. Whatever SPF factor is in the product that I use is what is going to be working on that day. But I will definitely top up the Vaseline that I put on the rest of my body with the sunscreen. I'm going to be out there for the longest time. I use Vaseline on a daily basis because generally my skin does not respond well to lotions and whatnot. So whatever I do, I always have Vaseline on my skin. Anything that I add is a super additional. So sunscreen, don't forget it. Yeah, I'm not gonna forget it on the day, but I usually forget it. It's so full right now because I forget to use sunscreen. So I'm gonna show you something, but you need to be cautious. I use these bounce thingamajigs, bounce earphones. Um, I have ears that have always rejected earphones, the ones that you like, drop in. So these have worked because they go right around my ear. I think you can see this. And right around my ear. I think you can see that again. Usually they do get loose depending on my hairstyle, but I love, love, love these and how they fit. And they are rechargeable using like a pin charger. So very, very, very good. And I've bought myself a gift, of course, at some point. These are shocks, very expensive item. They don't go into your ears. So you keep them here and you listen to your music, whatever it is, through like your side bones. I don't know what you call these. I find these to be very comfortable in public because I can still hear what's in my surroundings. But when I need like a runway, it's punchy and it's got a vibe. Plugging things into my ears works best. However, within races, it's advisable not to wear anything that, gives you music to your ears because you need to be very much aware about what's happening around you. So some even have rules against using them. I haven't checked what Two Oceans rules are, but whatever the rules say, I'll probably just do what the rules say because it's better that way than having issues related to because you wore earphones or whatever the case may be. So, but you do need music when you're training, when you're exercising indoors, when you're doing your short runs and whatnot. I find this really helpful. I've got amazing playlists that keep me going. So always have something that is a source of music. And there's earphones of varying price ranges. So don't go for expensive stuff just because it might be elite. Stuff that's quite affordable is also there, although I don't even think these are affordable, but I have these specifically, like I said, because my ears need them. If anything doesn't wrap around my ear or like go around my head, it's not going to work because it's just going to fly out. So I'm going to introduce you to another gem. I discovered this in 2023. I always discover things late, guys. This is a secret to not quick recovery, but when you feel sluggish before or after a race or a run, whatever the case may be, or even before your period, Slowmag is the plug. It has worked for me, particularly the fizzes. The tablets, I don't know if they work for me, but I would rather just, drop this effervescent into water and then drink the water once the fizz is gone. And it really helps because also you're getting hydration into your body. So Slowmag, yeah, whatever they put in it, it has worked for me. And I think it really helps with recovery. So the week after, I'm just going to be having one of these per day. And I think within the week, I should be fine. I'm going to have a headlamp because we start very late in the dark. And I've realized that it really helps to have some light. I still need to get a battery for it. And this is LED Lensa. It's quite an expensive brand. They are affordable ones from as little as like 89, 90, 100 rands. You can get them from Mr. Price Sport. So also look out for that. And if you're not using these things often, for example, there's no big deal in like buying the expensive one. You can actually just save your money and buy the most affordable that is available. And then I am going to be documenting my run. I usually use my phone, which is number 25, but my phone is right there. So I did buy something that is a GoPro, great for capturing action. I use it for my 46-kilometer. I'm still practicing how to use it. I hope it will be useful because I really need to start documenting a lot of my activities outdoors. This is the GoPro Hero 11. Bought it as a gift to myself. Actually, everything is a gift to myself at the beginning of this year. So it's still very new to me and we're getting to know each other. And I really hope that we're going to take great content on the day because, girl,